is about cerebrum. Okay, external feature yesterday we have studied. Okay. So there are two hemispheres, the right and left cerebral hemispheres. Wait a minute. There are two divisions of cerebral hemisphere, right and left cerebral hemisphere, which are connected with the help of corpus callosum. Just a brief introduction. Having three poles, the anterior most is frontal pole, the posterior one is the occipital pole, whereas the lateral one is known as the temporal pole. Surfaces, there are three surfaces are there. The superolateral surface, which is convex, then medial surface, inferior surface. Okay. Now we are going to discuss, this is the superolateral surface, this one. Again, it is divided, the cerebral hemisphere divided into four lobes with of sulci. Yeah, hope you have you have learned this in last lecture. There's one lateral sulcus which is dividing which is separating the frontal and parietal lobe from the temporal lobe. This lateral sulcus reaches till the middle of the parietal lobe, and there is parieto-occipital divided into four lobes: frontal lobe, parietal lobe, occipital lobe, and temporal lobe. Am I audible clearly? Audible. Okay. So that is superolateral surface. This is the medial surface. How we are going to identify it? This presence of the corpus callosum. Anterior bend is known as genu, then body, and lastly the splenium part. This projection fibers are known as fornix. Okay, and then the covering is there between the two lateral ventricle. This is known as the septum pellucidum. So these three structures are present on the medial surface, and rest is the effort sulci and gyri. This is the inferior surface. It is irregular. With the help of the stem of the lateral sulcus, you can appreciate this is divided into two parts. The front small part is orbital surface, and the posterior portion is known as the tentorial surface. Okay. Then after that about the division of the surfaces: superolateral surface, medial surface. This is superolateral surface, this is medial surface, and this is the inferior surface, divided into two parts: orbital part and tentorial part. What about the borders? These are I'm just reading out it. Superomedial border, superciliary, the in superciliary border part, one of the part, inferolateral border, and in medial orbital, inferior-medial, and medial occipital. These are the distribution of the borders. There are mainly three borders which are divided into different three parts. Okay. This is another picture. That about lobes. Now the major sulci and gyri we are focused here. So there are three sulcus. First one is here I have highlighted that in the black color, central sulcus. This central sulcus is present just few point behind, just behind the midpoint of the frontal pole and occipital pole. Hope you can understand with this picture the anterior aspect and posterior aspect. The portion which is showing cerebellum is the posterior aspect. This is the occipital pole related to it. So at just behind the middle of the frontal and the occipital pole, the central sulcus part. How you're going to identify the central sulcus? This is the sulcus which reaches the medial surface also. What is sulci and gyri mainly? Sulci are nothing but depressions and gyri are the elevations. Okay. So this central sulcus cuts the medial surface also. It runs obliquely downward over the superolateral surface and it reaches till the lower part of the superolateral surface, till the lateral sulcus. Okay, this central sulcus separate out the frontal lobe from the rest of the cerebrum. Then second sulcus is the lateral sulcus. This lateral sulcus we have already seen in the inferior surface that this lateral sulcus start along the inferior surface its stem and it divides the inferior surface into two parts, orbital surface and tentorial surface. Then it runs upward over the, here you can appreciate it here, over the superolateral surface and then it reaches up to the parieto-occipital sulcus or the or towards the occipital lobe. Okay, this is the lateral sulcus. At its initial when it reaches the superolateral surface, it is divided to three rami. This one first which is going is the, not having anything here. This one here is the anterior horizontal sulcus. Here is the anterior ascending ramus. Its another name is also, and this is posterior ramus. The largest one is the posterior ramus. This posterior ramus is reaching the parieto-occipital sulcus. Okay. Third main sulcus is the parieto-occipital sulcus, and it is mainly present on the medial surface and reaches the superolateral surface. Okay. Now, the other sulci and gyri which are present on the superolateral surface. First is, this is the central sulcus. The area or gyrus just in front of the central sulcus is precentral gyrus. And just in front of it, there's another sulcus which is known as precentral sulcus. Okay. Main sulcus is central sulcus. The sulcus in front of it is precentral sulcus. Area between them is known as the precentral gyrus. These areas are important because here there is location of the functional areas of brain, through which the control over the different parts of the body is there. Then behind the central sulcus, there is another sulcus. Here is this black line. This is known as the postcentral sulcus, and the area between them is known as postcentral gyrus. Okay, it will be very clear when we'll see the original specimen of cerebrum. You just try to understand. Then in front of the precentral sulcus, there are true sulci. There is superior frontal sulcus, and next is the inferior frontal sulcus. Between these two sulcus, there are three gyri: the superior frontal gyrus, middle frontal gyrus, and the inferior frontal gyrus. Okay, so two sulci are there in frontal lobe, superior frontal sulcus, and this is the inferior frontal sulcus. Three gyri related to it: superior frontal gyrus, middle frontal gyrus, and inferior frontal gyrus. Okay, so that about the sulci and gyri present in the frontal lobe. Then in the temporal lobe, first we are discussing the sulci and gyri present on the superolateral surface. In the temporal lobe, this black color line is showing the sulci. This is the superior temporal sulcus and this is the inferior temporal sulcus. Again, it is dividing the temporal lobe or temporal area into three gyrus: superior temporal gyrus, area between the posterior ramus and superior temporal line sulcus is the superior temporal gyrus. Area between superior and inferior temporal sulcus is middle temporal gyrus, and lowermost area below the inferior temporal sulcus is inferior temporal gyrus. Okay, the sulci and gyri are of same name. Okay, so two sulci dividing the region into three gyrus. So there are three elevations are made by it. Here you can appreciate this is the parietal lobe. This parietal lobe is divided with the help of sulcus, single sulcus. This is known as interparietal sulcus. This interparietal sulcus divides the parietal lobe into above superior parietal lobule and below inferior parietal lobule. Okay. There are outshoots of the posterior ramus of the lateral sulcus and the superior temporal sulcus into the inferior parietal lobule. They are forming, and the area which is related, the gyri which is formed with in relation to these two sulci is known as the supramarginal gyrus and angular gyrus. Okay, so that is about the few sulci which are present in the sulci and gyri present in the superolateral surface. Okay, here another thing is there. This is the lateral sulcus. This is the anterior horizontal ramus. Lateral sulcus is having three rami. One is this one is the anterior horizontal ramus. This is anterior ascending ramus, and this is the posterior ramus. Okay, so the area which is present below the anterior horizontal ramus, this is known as pars orbitalis. This formation of a roughly triangular area between pars anterior horizontal and anterior ascending ramus. This is pars triangularis, and area between the ascending ramus and posterior ramus. This is known as pars opercularis. Okay, these names or these regions are important because different functional areas are located here. I'm repeating again. This is the lateral sulcus, a lateral fissure. When it reaches the in the inferior surface, this lateral the lateral sulcus start on the inferior surface. Here it divides the inferior surface into two parts, orbital surface and tentorial surface. Later on, it reaches in this picture, it reaches the superolateral surface, give three offshoots. One is anterior horizontal, one is anterior ascending, and another is posterior ramus. Okay. So the area which is present between anterior horizontal and the inferior portion is known as pars orbitalis. Area between anterior ascending and anterior horizontal, this anterior horizontal and this anterior ascending is known as pars triangularis. And the area behind the anterior ascending is known as pars opercularis. Okay, so that about the offshoots of lateral sulcus. Now the sulci and gyri on the medial surface. Hope you have understood. What is the main sulcus on the lateral surface? Or we see another picture if there. Okay, this one you have to identify the sulci and gyri in with respect to these three main sulcus. One is central sulcus, which is dividing the skull, the brain, cerebral hemisphere into functional areas, main functional areas, and then lateral sulcus and parieto-occipital sulcus. Okay, so this central sulcus begins just behind the midpoint of the frontal and the temporal pole, and it cuts the medial surface, and then it runs obliquely over the superolateral surface till the lateral sulcus, posterior ramus of lateral sulcus. Other sulcus is important sulcus is the lateral sulcus. This lateral sulcus begins in the inferior surface. Its stem divides the inferior surface into two parts. Then it reaches the superolateral surface, give three offshoot: anterior horizontal, anterior ascending, and posterior ramus. Okay. The area below the anterior horizontal is known as pars orbitalis. Area between the anterior horizontal and anterior ascending is pars triangularis, and area behind the anterior ascending is known as pars opercularis. Okay, so that about superolateral surface sulci and gyri. On medial surface, I've already told you. This is the fibers, largest commissural fiber of the cerebral hemisphere. This is known as corpus callosum. It is divided into three parts. This bent is the genu, this is body, and this is the splenial part of corpus callosum. This is septum pellucidum and this is fornix, one of the projecting fibers that we'll discuss in upcoming lectures. The sulci and gyri which are present on the medial surface here is just above the corpus callosum. This is the deep sulcus you can appreciate. This is known as callosal sulcus. Other sulcus which is of same shape as that of the corpus callosum just begin in front of genu, runs upward, backward, upward and forward, take a backward turn, runs along the corpus callosum till the posterior part of the uh, parietal lobe. This is known as the cingulate sulcus. It's very important sulcus. The area between the callosal sulcus and cingulate sulcus, this area is known as the cingulate gyrus. Then it will give the cingulate gyrus, cingulate sulcus, gives different offshoots in the parietal lobule. This margin, this cut section, you can appreciate this offshoots of the cingulate sulcus. The portion of the parietal lobule above the cingulate sulcus, which is cut by the central sulcus, this is known as the paracentral lobule. Remember, this paracentral lobule is very important functional area related with the micturition and defecation is related here. So this is paracentral lobule. Then there's another important sulcus which is present on the medial surface is parieto-occipital sulcus. Here this is the inferomedial border. Okay. Then this is the parieto-occipital sulcus. This parieto-occipital sulcus reaches till the inferomedial border till the lower part. Then another sulcus which is present on the occipital pole on the medial surface is the calcarine sulcus. This calcarine sulcus begins at the parieto-occipital sulcus and reaches, its convexity is upward and it reaches till the occipital pole. The area which is present between the parieto-occipital sulcus and calcarine sulcus, this is known as cuneus. And above the parieto-occipital sulcus, this is known as the precuneus. Okay. Then there's another. These are the different sulci which are present, sulci and gyri present on the medial surface. Then about the inferior surface, here we are having both the cerebral hemisphere. The one sulcus which is straight, this is known as the olfactory sulcus, and this is for the lodgement of olfactory bulb and tract. Okay. The gyrus which is present just medial to it, which is straight, it is known as gyri rectus. Okay. Then on lateral aspect of it, there is roughly H-shaped sulcus is there, which is having 4 gyrus: anterior, posterior, medial and lateral gyrus. Okay. Rough shape H-shaped orbital sulcus is there, which is divided into 4 gyrus, dividing 4 gyruses: anterior, posterior, medial and lateral. Okay. So on the orbital surface, there are 2 sulci. One is the olfactory sulcus for the lodgement of olfactory bulb and tract, and H-shaped, roughly H-shaped sulcus. Then there is gyri rectus and other for anterior, posterior, medial and lateral gyri which are present and surround the H-shaped sulcus. Okay. Then what about tentorial surface? On the tentorial surface, there are 2 main sulci there. This medial one, this one is known as the collateral sulcus. Okay. On medial aspect, and the lateral sulcus, it is known as occipitotemporal sulcus. Okay. So these 2 sulci divide the tentorial surface into 3 parts. This portion, it is known as parahippocampal gyrus. Okay. This portion, it's known as parahippocampal gyrus, and it gives a backward turn on its anterior aspect. This is known as uncus. There's another sulcus is there here, which is not very much appreciable in this picture. It is known as rhinus. Okay, then Between the this collateral sulcus and occipitotemporal sulcus, there is one gyrus which is known as medial occipitotemporal gyrus, and lateral to it there is lateral occipitotemporal gyrus. Okay, so these are the different sulci and gyri present on the inferior surface. Okay, so for now roughly we'll revise the sulci and gyri. Okay, on the first on the medial surface we'll see what are the sulci and gyri in this medial surface. This is carpus callosum, genu, body and rostrum. The sulcus which is first in relation to carpus callosum is the callosal sulcus. Above that there is another sulcus of same shape which is known as cingulate sulcus. The area between them is known as cingulate gyrus. This cingulate sulcus gives offshoots. Here you can easily see between these offshoots there is area of the upper part of medial surface which is known as paracentral lobule, and this paracentral lobule is divided or cut by portion of the central sulcus. Then just in front of the or just behind the splenium there's another sulcus here is known as the above, and behind the splenium this is known as the suprasplenial sulcus, and the area which is present in between is known as the isthmus. Okay, then there's another sulcus which is coming from the parieto-occipital sulcus is known as the calcarine sulcus, reaching till the occipital pole. Then on the that about the sulci and gyri on the then on the tentorial surface here this is the collateral sulcus and this one is the occipitotemporal sulcus. What about the gyri? This gyrus is known as the parahippocampal gyrus. It runs upward and just get a backward fold. This is known as the uncus, and a small sulcus between them is known as the rhinus. The area between collateral sulcus and the occipitotemporal sulcus, this is known as medial occipitotemporal gyrus, and this area is known as lateral occipitotemporal gyrus. Okay, that about the different sulci and gyri. Okay, so main three sulcus you have to remember first, because which is identification of which is very important. First is the central sulcus, starting from the medial surface and then it reaches the superolateral surface, it is oblique, separating out the frontal lobe from the rest of the cerebrum. Second is the lateral sulcus, its stem dividing the inferior surface into two parts, then it reaches the superolateral surface. Here it will give three offshoots: anterior horizontal, anterior ascending, and posterior ramus. Area between the anterior horizontal and the lower portion is known as pars orbitalis. Between anterior horizontal and anterior ascending is pars triangularis, and behind the anterior ascending is pars opercularis. Another sulcus is the parieto-occipital sulcus, which is present mainly on the medial surface, and then it reaches the superolateral surface. This parieto-occipital sulcus, third important sulcus. Then what are the other sulcus which are present on the superolateral surface? First, you have to identify the central sulcus. Just in front of central sulcus, there is another small sulcus, which is known as the precentral sulcus. Behind is there is another sulcus, there's post-central sulcus. Area between the central sulcus and precentral sulcus is known as precentral gyrus. Area between the central sulcus and post-central sulcus is the post-central gyrus. Okay. Then this frontal lobe is divided with the help of two sulci, superior frontal sulcus and inferior frontal sulcus, into three parts: superior frontal gyrus, middle frontal gyrus, and inferior frontal gyrus. Okay. Remember, these offshoots of lateral sulcus, which are coming from the lateral sulcus, there is anterior horizontal, anterior ascending, they are reaching the inferior frontal gyrus. Okay. Then about the temporal lobe, again there are two sulci, mainly the important sulci. This superior temporal sulcus and this is the inferior temporal sulcus. This is dividing it into three gyrus: superior temporal gyrus, middle temporal gyrus, and inferior temporal gyrus. Okay. Then there are offshoots, or first we'll see the parietal lobe. It's divided into two lobules with the help of interparietal sulcus. Above is the superior parietal lobule, below is the inferior parietal lobule. Again, this inferior parietal lobule is divided into different parts with the help of the offshoots of this posterior ramus superior temporal sulcus, and the gyri which are present along its offshoots, these are known as the gyrus. In relation to posterior ramus is known as supramarginal gyrus, and in relation to superior temporal sulcus is the angular gyrus. Okay. Other sulcus is important sulcus reaching from the parieto-occipital sulcus till the occipital lobe is the calcarine sulcus. So these are the important